23rd.
Did you find it?
I'll put it right in the middle of our stories.
Yes.
That would imply that somehow I have something.
Yes.
Yes? Yes. All right. Shabbat Shalom! Good evening and welcome. We are celebrating the Sabbath tonight from Mishkan Tefillah, the blue books on the rack in the back of the room. Hopefully you grabbed a copy on your way in. And we open our service this evening on page 634 with the reminder, Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. If we keep the Sabbath, God keeps us. It is a covenant between us forever. Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. Oti meolean Eno Uveni. Oti meolean Eno Uveni. Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. I am honored to call up our board member on the beat, Richard Carter, to light our Sabbath candles for us, page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all we behold, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yishnu b'mitzvotav v'shivanu el havik nir shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Richard. Let us take a moment, look around you, in front of you, behind you, across the aisle, wave and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom this evening. And as we do, let us sing a song of welcoming Maya Fehayom. How beautiful is this day? Shabbat Shalom, it is a Sabbath of peace. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Turning to page 146, we invite you to rise if you are able for our call to worship. Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Adonai, Hanorach. Baruch Adonai, Hanorach, Elam Moed. Turning to page 149, we read together at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari, Aravim. Page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We find the watchword of our faith on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem Kod Malchuto Le'elam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta, page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shoftecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Together, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 157, we read responsively at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together. Mi kamocha, Elohim Adonai, mi kamocha, Be'etam HaKodesh, Nora Tehilot, Oseh Melech, Nora Tehilot, Oseh Melech. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, God Yisrael. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. On page 162 at the top of the page, we give thanks for the covenant of Shabbat, V'shamru. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות הבאים לעולם. v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות הבאים לעולם. If you are able, we invite you to rise as we join together in Tefillah, beginning on page 164, continuing on page 166, and then page 168. Ata kadosh, v'shim kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalucha, Selah. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. You may be seated. Page 173, we read together at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175 at the top. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, Shorcha Levavcha, Yirah Na'avod. Page 177, we read together at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha, L'chana El Lehodot. Page 178, we offer a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Pause now for a few moments of silent prayer. Feel free to read the meditations on page 180 and following, or any prayer that the heart may prompt. In our Shabbat Shalom handout tonight, you'll find a list of names, people of whom we are thinking, friends, family, members of our congregation and extended community, all of whom are ill and struggling in one way or another. To these names, we know the circle goes even wider, across our city, our state, our nation, and around the world tonight. There are many who are suffering, even as we enjoy the peace and comfort that comes with Shabbat. And so we pause, even amidst our joy and pleasant celebration, to remember those who are ailing and to pray for their full and speedy recovery. On page 371, we join together in Mi Sheberach, a prayer for healing. Mi Sheberach. Our Torah portion tonight comes from the book of Exodus and contains the last mentions of the plagues. We're heading into the end, and the Exodus is about to happen. But before it does, Moses pauses and gives directions to the children of Israel on how to observe the Passover. And that is what we're reading tonight. Even though it's still the winter time, we are learning the directions for how to make what will become the Passover observance for generations to come. We read from the book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 21 and following, the famous blood on the doorposts of your house. A ritual so odd that God even tells Moses, someday your kids will ask, what in the world are you doing? We read tonight from Exodus chapter 12, Parshat Bo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with your commandments and commands us to busy ourselves with the study of the Torah. Vayikra Moshe el kol ziknei Yisrael v'yomer alehem mishchu k'chu lechem so l'mishpachotechem v'shachatu ha'pasa v'lekachtem agudat ezov v'tavaltem badam asher basaf v'higatem el hamashkof el shtei hamezuzot min hadam asher basaf v'atem lo teitzu ish mipetach beito ad boker ועבר אדוני לנגוף את מצרים, וראה את הדם על המשקוף ועל שתי המזוזות, ופסח אדוני על הפתח, ולא ייתן המשחית לבוא אל בתיכם לנגוף. ושמרתם את הדבר הזה לחוק לך ולבניך עד עולם. והיה כי תבואו אל הארץ אשר ייתן אדוני לכם כאשר דיבר. ושמרתם את העבודה הזו, והיה כי יאמרו עליכם בניכם, מה העבודה הזאת לכם? ואמרתם, זבח פסח הוא לאדוני, אשר פסח על בתי בני ישראל במצרים ונגבו את מצרים, et batenu hitzir. Vayikod ha'am, vayishtachavu, vayilchu v'yasu b'nei Yisrael kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe v'Aaron, kein asu. Moses summoned the elders of Israel and said unto them, gather and take for yourselves a lamb per family, and slaughter it as the Passover. And you shall take the blood from the lamb with a hyssop branch, and dip the hyssop branch in the basin that is in the doorway of your house, and put the blood on the lintel and the two doorposts of your house. And afterwards no one shall go outside until the next morning. For the Lord will pass through the land of Egypt with the 10th plague, the death of the firstborns. And when God sees the blood on the lintel and the two doorposts, the Lord will pass over the doorway and will not allow the destruction to enter into your houses to kill you. You shall keep this commandment as a law for all time, for you and your children forever. For when you get to the land that the Lord your God is giving you, as he promised you, you shall keep this very same ritual. And your children will say to you at that time, what is this ritual that you are doing? And you shall say, this is the Passover that we offer to the Lord. For the Lord passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he was smiting the Egyptians with the plague. But our houses were spared. And all the people agreed and bowed low to the ground. And they went, the children of Israel, and did, just as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. A federal agent pulls up down a dusty road to an old farmhouse, gets out of his car with papers in hand. The farmer meets him at the end of the driveway and says, can I help you? The federal agent says, I've got a warrant signed by a judge to search these premises. And the farmer says, well, okay, but I wouldn't go in the barn if I were you. And the federal agent says, this warrant says I can search your entire property, and there's nothing you can do about it. The farmer says, okay, but I wouldn't go in the barn if I were you. The federal agent says, just for that, for you giving me such a tough time, I'm going to start in the barn. You can't stop me. He goes straight for the barn and throws the doors open and walks inside. Screams follow immediately. The farmer says, you okay in there? The federal agent says, how do you get this bull to stop trying to gore me? The farmer says, show him your warrant. The Torah portion tonight tells us of a time when God watched over the doorposts of our houses in Egypt and made the plague pass by. And it is notable as we think about the events of our world in the weeks that have gone by, and even so this past week, as there is a question of who can go in your door, and what is the land that we believe to be the land of the free coming to these days, when people say they may not even need a warrant to knock down your door and go see what's inside. In truth, there is still a Constitution of the United States of America, and the Fourth Amendment protects American citizens from unjust searches and seizures. The question, of course, in everyone's mind at the moment is, what if you're not looking for an American citizen? What if you're looking for somebody who is a citizen? Do you still need a warrant? The question becomes more complicated when you talk about private property. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency had a whistleblower incident earlier this week in which a memo was produced that said that training is being changed for agents who are becoming future Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are being told that you don't need a judicial warrant signed by a judge if you know that the person you're going to arrest has already had a judicial hearing, and therefore an administrative warrant is enough. The problem is, how can you tell? How can you tell when you're battering down the door? How can you tell if you don't really know who's inside and you're only going to look? The administrative warrants, of course, are perfectly legal, and the person who has received such a warrant is a person who's already been adjudicated to be in the country illegally and is due for deportation. It's perfectly reasonable if you find them out on the street, even if you find them at their job site. First of all, they shouldn't have been hired if they're an illegal alien, but if you find them at their job site, if you find them in transit, if you find them out in society, but inside of someone's home is sacrosanct. And we as Jews, unfortunately, know all too well what it's like to have people kicking down your door, to drag people out from inside. We are painfully aware of what happens when the government begins to push aside what has been accepted as the rules in favor of new rules that bear less scrutiny, new rules that offer less oversight, new rules that offer less recourse if you feel your rights have been endangered. And the truth is, we don't know yet how things will play out across our country. We don't even know yet whether the vast majority of warrants are in fact reasonable or not. They probably are. There certainly is a challenging question of who is a citizen and who is not. But until you can tell, there usually is a presumption of the right to avoid being burst into in your own home. Here in our own state, there is a question of what is an acceptable religious persuasion. I've always thought of myself as a citizen, despite being Jewish, and yet our state legislature just this week passed a wonderful bill, fast-tracked by the way, to make an official Bible that has been sanctioned by the legislature mandatory to be presented and discussed in every public and charter school 4th, 8th, 10th, and 11th grade social studies classes. Well, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the establishment of an official state religion, and it certainly isn't mine. And so that bears the question of, what about the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, or the much more vividly described separation of church and state in our own West Virginia Constitution, where our state's founding fathers were very afraid of Virginia's Anglican ministers preaching a slavery, pro-secession message here in West Virginia, and added extra paragraphs. It's much more robust, the separation of church and state. And here is our state legislature telling every student in West Virginia public schools that the Bible is in fact a Protestant Christian Bible, which makes an interesting question of, what if you're not that? When did the "don't tread on me" crowd become the comply or die crowd? At what point did we stop having a sense of order in our society? The Torah is clear. The laws that are passed down to us, a sense of right and wrong, a sense of decency, a sense of appreciation for a power beyond ourselves, that we are not the end-all, be-all of deciding everything, that there is a God above us, and that there is a past and a present and a future to be considered. Why are we not caring more? Well, I think the question turns to Martin Niemöller. who said, first they came for the socialists, but I was not a socialist, so I did not speak up. And then they came for the trade unionists, but I was not a trade unionist, so I did not speak up. Then they came for the Jews, but I was not a Jew, so I did not speak up. By the time they came for me, there was no one left to speak up. Just last year, when the same state legislature offered a bill to make the New Testament the official moral law of our state, I was very fortunate to be able to persuade enough legislators to kill that bill before it even got out of the committee. I asked at the same time, I wrote an editorial in the paper, I said, they're coming for us. Right now, they're coming for us. They'll be coming for you next. Well, us is back on the table, and so it seems is anyone. Anyone who at any given moment doesn't want their door kicked in. Anyone who at any moment doesn't want their children indoctrinated in public school in a religious tradition that may or may not be their own. I can't even imagine that Protestants would want their children being taught religion in public school instead of at Sunday school or in their family home. We as a nation, we as a state, we as a congregation of faith ought to care about what happens inside our doors. We ought to feel safe in our own homes. And we ought to be concerned about what happens outside our doors as well. These are difficult times, and the questions are not necessarily easy ones. There is right and wrong. There are laws that need to be enforced, and law enforcement agents who are trying to do their jobs appropriately. But that's really the question. What is appropriately? And how do we, as Jews, stand by and watch as our society's norms, things that we have treasured and relied upon, are being trampled on? The standards that have been are being cast aside in the name of exigency. I'm not sure that the exigency exists in the direction that the public seems to see it at the moment. I think the exigency is for freedom and justice to prevail. And that cannot happen if we only care about our own safety. We hid inside our doors and hoped that the Lord would pass over in the midst of the 10th plague, and we were saved. But at Sinai, God asks more of us than he did in Egypt. He asks us to be the redeemers of our fellow human beings, and indeed our world. Not to be content with our own safety, but to genuinely care about the safety of our friends and neighbors as well. I am worried at the moment about the state of our state and the state of our nation and the state of my own place in each. But we as Jews are called by the Talmud, by the rabbis who had no independence and lived under Roman rule, that Dina de Malchuta Dina, the law of the land, is the law, and we should be law-abiding citizens. Amen to that, I say. And it goes both ways. If we are to be good citizens, it means that we as Jews must be involved and engaged citizens, informed and active citizens, participatory citizens, law-abiding citizens, and law-demanding citizens. We must do our part to be good neighbors, but we must also do our part to stand up for our neighbors and to stand up for liberty and justice for all, or there will be liberty and justice for none, and it could be too late to reverse that trend if we don't speak up now.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi,
Thanks, Richard.
for your instructive and very necessary sermon. I thank Terry and Kate and Travis for enriching our worship with their music. We have tonight's pulpit flowers donated by Anonymous. And thank you, Anonymous.
Amen. Back.
And tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Dr. George Getz. And I hope to see him tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, we have some upcoming events that are pretty important. Tomorrow morning, 9:45, Tanakh study. And there have been some among us who have maybe tired of going through the Torah every year and are looking for some additional stimulation. And the Tanakh is certainly there to provide that for us. We will continue with Joshua tomorrow morning. And it won't just be study. There'll be lox and bagels and coffee and who knows what other goodies might be on the table. We welcome everyone to our sweets. Punchkis. Oh, they're out already. Okay. Punchkis are out. It's coming at that season. Next Friday is a big event, and Rabbi, I have to tell you how our youth are going to lead this. I can't explain it.
All have parts.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be interesting, and we welcome everyone to come next Friday night for our 5th Friday of the month of January, 7 p.m. Type.
6.
It's our 6th.
It's going to be 6 p.m.
Oh, we got a typo in here. It's 6 p.m. Obviously the people in here are serious worshipers. So forget about that 7 p.m. in your program. It's a 6 p.m. And then we'll have Tanakh study and lox and bagels again on the 31st. And as we roll into February, we have the first Friday, February 6th, is Tu B'Shvat Seder at 6 p.m. Dr. Weisberger has been very generous in supporting the Seder, and we ask that everyone who wants to attend, please advise Lynn. And did we decide on that, $10 per person? 7 for children, whether they're leading or not, $7. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we are still in the throes of the Stock Market Circle Challenge. And we have, what, six more weeks, Doctor? 5 more weeks after.
This is the third of 8 weeks.
Okay, we have 5 more, so 3 have been completed. I want everyone to be aware and advise all their friends, neighbors, vendors, people who are servicing your house. Keep some of these forms available in your home, because you could get people who are coming in to do work for you, etc. Sell them. You can't choose any longer, but you can enter, and it's an automatic And if you take a look at the great details and statistics that have been provided by Dr. Leaf, you'll see that the automatics are far outpassing the choices that are made by individuals. So, chance of winning and competing well is still there, and a lot of fun for 5 more weeks. Only 3 down, 5 to go. 62.5% if I'm reading this correctly, and you want to get in there and enjoy this. So, with that, I think I've pretty well used up my welcome on the bema, and I'll turn it over to the rabbi.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Yes, we apologize for the typo. The service next week, led by the youth, is at 6 p.m. And that's to account for the younger children who are helping and participating. However, the good news is that the young families are sponsoring the Oneg Shabbat next week, which will be pizza and salad and soda for dinner immediately following. So join us at 6 p.m. this coming Friday night, the 30th, and there will be pizza and salad and soda for dinner immediately following. That is coming up next week. The Tu B'Shvat Seder, the week after that, is also at 6 p.m., and it is a catered dinner, so you do, as Richard said, need to call the office and let us know you plan to attend. We turn now to page 586 and rise as the ark is open for a lady. We remain standing as we remember those whom we have loved and lost, those who died this season in years gone by, and all we have taken into our hearts with our own. Tonight we recall the yard sites that fall on this Shabbat: Abram S. Berg, Rebecca Sulzberger Berg, Anne Front Bloom, Charles Mayshard Brody, Dina Cohen, Sidney Himes Colson, Marcia Schuckman Frisch, Charles Morley Goldberg, Chaya Greenwald, Bertil Gross, Erno Gross, Catherine Klinghoffer, Edith Kahn Lentz, Ouida McMillan, George S. Morris, Sarah Offengender, Esther Pavelak, Cora Levy Posen, Sylvia Bloom Robin, Rosina Solomon Rosenberg, Saul N. Rosenberg, Sylvia Schuckman Rothbard, Molly Dorfman Shore, and Abraham Weissman. If there are any other names to be remembered for Kaddish this evening, I invite you to please add those names at this time.
Jerry Kopiar, Regis Martin.
For all whom we have loved and lost, let us join together in Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach kirutei biamlich malchutei. B'chaye chod, b'yom echod, b'chaye nechal beit Yisrael. B'agalag bizman kariv yimru. Amen. Yesh mirabam vorach, la'al malol me'al maya. Yiparach v'yishtabach, yipa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei kudusha. Ve'ila mikol v'yirchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Tamiram v'yalma v'yibru. Amen. Yesh mamarabam v'yinshmai. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yibru. Amen. O say shalom v'yirumah. Uya say shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yibru. Amen. May God grant peace to all who mourn. Comfort all the bereaved among us. Together let us say, Amen. Our closing hymn is the last lines of the Kaddish. May God who makes peace in the heavens above bring peace to our world. O say shalom. O say shalom. Shalom imrama. Uya say shalom. Aleinu. El kol Yisrael. V'yimru. Amen. Uya say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. O say shalom. Shalom imrama. Uya say shalom. Lord our God, keep us safe from all that troubles our world and inspire us to be your partners in making safety, peace, liberty, and justice extend to all humanity. May the day come soon when everyone could live together in peace and harmony with your help, O God, and our hard work. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Come on.